Uranium friends checking in on non-minor stuff. So ASP isotopes, right? Fairly new name. This is a weekly chart. So, again, I talked about the weekly 12 EMA rider with the 50-day moving average. Again, just another name that's doing it, right? So just keep that in mind. But ASPI, I mean, it's great, right? I've made some trades on here. I've never held on, which is probably foolish at this point. But, you know, uh, medical isotopes these guys are making and stuff like that. It's good to. I have it in my uranium watch list, and it's a good name, and it's on the Nasdaq. It doesn't have option chain yet, but it's going to by the looks of the way this thing is moving. So, very hot, running very hot, and it's hard for me to position up. It's against a lot of my principles really to position up in something like this. I need some sort of decent like pullback so I can get some action. But you know, it's a great spot. This would have been a great spot, and I definitely did get some. No, I did not. This pullback here is where I got some, and I sold. There's just no two ways about it. But whatever, it's all good. So it just continues on. Very strong name. Probably going to have a lot of use cases down the road. I think they're doing some sort of I think they're doing some sort of fuel conversion as well. So people that are smarter than me fundamentally, higher concentration, probably, yeah. Enrichment, yeah. So technology product allow for the enrichment. Now, so these guys are they could be in the enrichment game, and the enrichment game is very, very, very much necessary for the space. So an enrichment name may very well be a much better play than any of these miners for all we know. So it's good to keep it on the radar, is all I'm saying. It's just super strong. Uh, all dips are being bought. And until that changes, I would love to be a buyer in this $3 range. But knowing me, I will take some beforehand. So I wouldn't mind seeing grabbing some in this area, right? A little volume profile here, good spot for support, right? 390-ish. You got another weekly bull flag forming, weekly daily bull flag. So, but it is running hot, so I'll be small and I'll be careful. Okay, BWXT, which a lot of people don't talk about, a lot of naval contracts. Again, these guys are in more like nuclear uh, reactor building and whatnot, I believe, right? Components, a lot of naval United States Navy contracts. This thing has just been a beast, right? Look at this stock. Look at the monthly chart on this stock, right? So it's a beast. That's just what it is. So if it's not on your watch list and you want to be a little bit diversified off of the miners alone and get out of the volatility game, still be in the sector and make a little bit of a dividend, BWXTs, if you think about it, this pullback here, uh, I, it's not volatile as far as moving really fast, right? So it's just a grinder. This is great to cool the flag, cool the RSI. What's the weekly? Weekly could use some coin. I mean, love to, love to, love to see it. Oh, the weekly 12 EMA once again, right? Uh, Always keep an eye on that weekly 12 EMA. Even if you are not a a technical analyst or don't care about technical analysis at all, I would still keep an eye on that, in the very least, that moving average. So, LEU, again, fuel, enrichment, fabricator, servicing. Again, another value. Sorry about the cough. The value area, again, kind of like UUU is kind of the way I'm playing. I'm viewing LEU, and pretty pretty clear to see the orange box is it's a big area. It's been for a while, and someone had asked me, I forget who asked me and when, but you could. I made this white box because this is another little bit of a value area inside of this big one. So these are the things that I'm keeping an eye on. Point in even looking at fibs right now. These are the things I'm keeping an eye on with LEU. And, there's some government grants that are being granted and coming into the pipeline. So, we got to see if Centrus gets a hold of that. And now, to me, I just look to Clay Montgomery for this stuff, for his fundamental take on that stuff. He's usually, at least he has a handle on these guys fundamentally. So that's the guy that if you're into the fundamentals, I would be paying attention to Clay Montgomery. But for now, let's look at the daily, right? So is this a reversal? Well, a lot of other things have gotten their daily trend change. This is not, right? Why has it not gotten a daily trend change? Because this is all one move. We want to see now from Centrus is tops out wherever it tops out, okay? Makes its pivot, comes down to make a higher low as opposed to this low, and continues on and takes out the wherever the high is, okay? If it does that, it's changed its trend, and that's what we want to see. So, but the first good sign is that it's through the 12 EMA on the daily, but it's done it before, right? Volume is average, where it's been for a while. The weekly is just a continued downtrend. It's a long way away from the 12 EMA, which is the top of this nested value box. And, there's probably some who can contend that I could tighten up and clean that box up, but I'm not going to, especially during a video. So that's the deal with Centrus. Needs a daily trend change. And this is no big deal to me as far as I'm concerned, getting through the 12 EMA. The only thing you could say about it, which is different, is that it actually closed above the 12 EMA, which it hasn't done since mid-January, okay, and when it's uptrend. So, you start to look for these early signs of reversals. That's what we want to see, just to see if the 4-hour changed its trend. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can say it did. I'm going to kill this white box here, right? So I guess, well, it's not. It's all one move still. It's all one move. So it hasn't even changed its 4-hour trend. You could say it's changed its hourly trend. It's not really heavy duty defined pivot. It's really great end of the day volume, but we've seen it before. Okay, so Centrus has work to do on this daily chart. And the first sign that there's a slight difference is that it's closed above the 12 EMA, right? So you start to pay attention to the little signs in the space. That's how you catch bottoms. Never going to get perfect. This is how you catch bottoms, especially if it comes back and comes down and makes a higher low. I mean, it's the best you can do. Then you've got some great levels to work off of, and it becomes a low risk attempt. And Centrus is a little bit of a pain in the ass as far as that's concerned. It's not my favorite trader, that's for sure. Lightbridge, we're starting to pay attention to Lightbridge because it had some news and it had a daily trend change. So it's looking better, right? So by all means, metrics, you know, LTBR does things a little bit differently, right? So this is the 50-day and the 50 EMA. That's kind of the spot where it's always been getting caught up and losing the battle, right? So it's gotten over and it's staying over. We need it to continue to do that. Here, it lost it again. So, it'll be a big tell if it's different this time for Lightbridge, just on the moving average metric alone. That's the weekly. It's nothing, right? Okay, it's still fighting the 12 EMA, which is the metric for this space, in my opinion. Commodities in general, but whatever. Okay, that's Lightbridge. I don't think there's anything. Oh, we can look at Silex, and it's probably better to look at the ASX. So let's see what Silex is doing. Ah, you son of a. I hate when it does that. Silex, yeah. Okay, so Silex weekly looks fantastic, right? All good, nothing wrong here. Let's just see how it's handled this drawdown. Well, it's a daily downtrend, but it's holding a level, right? 444 in Aussie dollars, and but we're starting to see these moving averages acting as resistance. So there's a stack here. It's stacked up, acting as resistance, right? The change will be when it gets above that stack. But you see, just like, and I don't know if people pay attention or not, but these moving averages get stretched. They like to reconcile and stack up again. They get stretched here to the downside, reconciled and stretched and stacked up again, right? Moving average, especially Silex. So that's a big stretch. Now it's kind of bunching up again, right? They're acting as resistance right now. So, I mean, you look at this stretch, it got down, they bunched up, it acted as resistance. There was continued downside. So, I can't tell you exactly what Silex is going to do, but I'm just looking at these things. I have a position here. I've had it for a pretty long time, and I definitely sold half to get basically risk free. And I have it on the Australian exchange, and hopefully it's a much longer term hold, but we'll see. If it gets up to this $10, $12 area, I guess I just have to decide when that occurs, what I'm going to do. So, I'm looking at that, but great move. So these, don't ignore these fuel service providers and these enrichers. ASPI, it's an interesting company. I may actually even have to go into a fundamental look on this company because I just want to see what they're doing. So over and out. Yeah,